Hello, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, if you're enjoying this legal education content, please remember to hit the notification bell so you can get alerts of all of our streams. For today, we're doing something a little bit different in Capitol Riot world. This is episode number 55 of our continuing coverage of the Capitol Riots in the form of Pauline Bauer. And we have something a little bit different, so this should be fun. The legal education part of this channel has never been more tenuous. Let's get started with this. All right, so we will start, as always, with our friends in the FBI and the evidence that they have to offer in terms of the evidence that's available. So the FBI believes that Ms. Bauer has participated in the events of January 6th in the following ways and based on the following evidence. So apparently we've got information, witnesses 1 through 6. Well, that's a pretty good start. Witness number 1. On or about January the 7th, witness 1 submitted an anonymous electronic tip to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, advising that Bauer and William Blaster from Keene, Pennsylvania, were part of the mob that broke into the building to disrupt the electoral vote. According to witness 1, Bauer and Blauser took several photos on their phone after they stormed the Capitol. Witness number 1 did not provide any identifying information, but the IP address they used to submit this tip resolved back to Keene, Pennsylvania, one of their neighbors. Further information determined both Bauer and Blauser reside in the area of surrounding Keene. Witness number 2, on or about January the 7th, witness number 2 submitted an electronic tip to the FBI regarding Bauer's presence inside the Capitol. Witness number 2 stated that he or she observed a post by Bauer on another individual's Facebook account. Witness number 2 includes Bauer's personal Facebook page at this following address, Pauline Bauer 568. And Bauer may be affiliated with Bob's Trading Post near Keene. Witness number 2 also stated that in the post or comment, Bauer admitted to being inside the Capitol and provided the following link to the post. In addition, witness number 2 stated Bauer posted a comment saying, "We took over our Capitol like patriots." But the post was removed by Facebook for violating standards of promoting violence. Witness number 3. Witness number 3 submitted an electronic tip. On February the 8th, law enforcement interviewed witness number 3 regarding the tip. Witness number 3 indicates that Bauer owns or works at the restaurant called Bob's Trading Post, which is near Red Bridge Campground. In witness number 3's tip, he or she stated that on the 6th, witness number 3 was reading the page of a Facebook friend, individual number 1, and individual number 1 was commenting about the activities of the building and the destruction being done. Witness number 3 also observed an individual with the name Pauline Bauer write a comment stating that she was in the Capitol in the Capitol. Witness number 3 provided the screenshot from individual number 1's Facebook page, the law enforcement page. Pauline Bauer says in this thread, "I'm at the Capitol and was inside. No of us are armed. Just pissed that this is what we have to do to take our country back from communism." Law enforcement subsequently viewed Facebook account of individual number 1 and observed the following post. From Pauline Bauer. I am at the Capitol and was inside. No of us are armed, just pissed that this is what we have to do to take back the country from communism. Do you really think anyone can break into the Capitol? The antagonists were let in. We all got maced trying to stop what was happening. They used us for a movie so you could watch it on the news. Okay. Pauline continues, "You can thank me after you start researching that these Democrats not only cheated and stole this election from the people, but they've been trafficking children for years. We took back what rightfully belongs to we the people." Okay, that's, something. Witness number 3 stated that he or she is not Facebook friends with Bauer, but visited Bauer's Facebook page, where witness number 3 observed Bauer had photos of herself and other individuals on their way to the building of the 6th. Witness number 4. On January the 7th, the FBI received a tip from witness number 4 through the FBI's Office of Public Affairs Digital Media Tips website that includes the following statement. Sandy Pemrov Weaver entered the Capitol on January 6th with Bill Bauer and Lynn Nestor. I have screenshots of Sandy stating she stormed the Capitol. She also had a live, however, Facebook took it down. Sandy also stated she has no fear when asked if it gets in trouble with the police. Witness number 4 also attached a screenshot of the photograph posted on Facebook that appears to be taken on January 6th. The photo consists of 6 persons, posted on one of the east side balconies of the Capitol building, with United States Supreme Court building and Jefferson building visible in the background. The caption above the image reads, Sandy Pemrov Weaver is with Bill Bauer and 2 others. Yeah, there they are on the balcony, and they're looking over the, yeah. In the photograph, the male standing to the far right in the photograph was later identified as William Bauer. Bauer is dressed in light-colored pants, a white t-shirt with graphic design on the front, a camouflage jacket, and a baseball cap with the word Trump on the front of the cap. In addition, Bauer has a white full beard, an object that appears to be a cell phone, in his left hand. To the right of Bauer is a woman dressed in a dark-colored jacket and red, white, blue knit hat with pom-pom on top and long brown hair, who was later identified as Bauer. The Facebook profile provided by witness number 4 identifies the subject with Sandy Pemrov Wire with a Facebook name of Sandy Pemrov Wire. On or about March the 16th of 2021, a search warrant associated with that account was submitted to Facebook via law enforcement. On or about the same date, Facebook returned the data through the law enforcement portal, and a review of that data was conducted and found videos and photographs of a woman who appeared to be Wire both inside and outside of the Capitol during the riots of the 6th. In addition, a review of the list of Facebook friends from the account associated with Wire shows that she is friends with Bauer. A review of the content found a group Facebook chat indicating the names of Bill Bauer and Pauline Bauer. On January the 5th, Wire posted the below photo on Facebook that included Pauline Bauer wearing the same outfit. So this is from the day before the riots, but she's wearing the same stuff and with the same people. So, okay. Witness number 4 also provided another image that was posted on January the 7th. On the same Facebook account, it appears to be the same group of persons, including both Bauer and Bauer. In front of the Capitol building with a timestamp of yesterday at 5:50 and believed to be referencing to January the 6th. Witness number 5. On or about January the 18th, witness number 5 submitted an electronic tip to the FBI National Threat Operations Center along with a photo and wrote, I know a guy from our town of Kane, Pennsylvania that was in the Capitol building. He has taken videos and they are being passed around. On February the 4th of 2021, law enforcement interviewed witness number 5, who has known William Bauer for over 5 years and had the opportunity to view him in person and become familiar with his physical appearance. Witness number 5 also knows Bauer and had opportunities to view her in person and become familiar with her physical appearance prior to the events. Witness number 5 states that he or she frequents a local restaurant called Bob's Trading Post that's run by Bauer and her husband. Witness number 5 stated that Bauer became more and more political over the past year and began losing business because people were uncomfortable about her constant political rhetoric. Witness number 5 stated that Pauline Bauer's husband recently told witness number 5 that Bauer entered the Capitol building, but she didn't hurt anyone or do anything violent. Witness number 5 also reported that he or she had heard that 2 buses full of people from Elk County, Pennsylvania, and surrounding areas went to the Stop the Steal rally in January. Witness number 5 also stated that he heard William Bauer was in the Capitol building. Witness number 5 provided law enforcement copies of videos that he or she referenced in his or her online tip. Witness number 5 stated he or she received the videos from Witness 6, who was another associate of Witness 5, that attended this January 6 events. The video consists of recordings, and witness number 5 said that they recognized Bauer in the videos. Witness number 6. On February the 9th of 2021, the FBI interviewed witness number 6 about the events of January 6th. Witness number 6 confirmed that he or she traveled to Washington, D.C. to attend the rally with several associates. Witness number 6 provided law enforcement copies of videos from January 6th. A review of the videos provided by Witness 6 reveals some of the videos were shot from the steps of the Capitol and from inside the Capitol, inside the Rotunda area. In one of the videos that was recorded from the Capitol steps, the video panned the crowd, and Bowser is recorded in the foreground of the video, wearing the same camouflage jacket and baseball cap with the word Trump seen in other photographs. Witness number 6 acknowledged Pauline attended the rally as well, and while witness number 6 declined to provide the last name of Pauline, witness number 6 did not deny the last name was Bauer. So I won't confirm or deny that one, I guess. Witness number 6 stated that Pauline arranged for buses to travel to Washington, D.C. An individual associated with witness number 6 who was present for a portion of the interview referenced Pauline as being associated with Bob's Trading Post restaurant. Witness number 6 stated that Pauline sent several videos to him or her, and some of the videos appeared to have been taken inside the Capitol. Witness number 6 provided copies of the videos to law enforcement, and as discussed below, some of the videos appeared to be taken from the same location of that of Pauline, and Bowser was seen in body-worn camera footage, but from the vantage point of Bowser and Bauer, rather than MPD's office's vantage points. The screenshot below is seen below. Capitol Building's video surveillance footage. I've reviewed portions of some surveillance video of the interior of the building, including the East Rotunda door and inside Rotunda. William Bowser and Bauer are recorded entering the Capitol building via the Rotunda door. At the time of the entry, there are at least 3 police officers in the area attempting to stop the crowd from entering the building. So not so much with it being let in as, trying to stop with what we could. As entered through the door, Bowser walked backwards, pushing his way through the crowd and entering the building. Bowser and Bauer entered the Rotunda. Bowser and Bauer were recorded by the south entrance to the Rotunda, and both Bowser and Bauer appeared to be involved in a brief skirmish with law enforcement. After the police forced the crowd out of the Rotunda, Bowser was observed exiting the building with Bauer. Body-worn camera video. I've reviewed some of the body-worn cameras worn by members of the MPD. Numerous body-worn cameras recorded a person inside the Rotunda on January 6th that has later been identified as Bauer, wearing a dark colored jacket, dark knit style hat with pom-pom on top, with red and white stripes and possibly stars. I do have to say that does look like stars to me. Yeah. At approximately 2:57 p.m., one of the body camera's videos recorded another individual saying words to the effect of, "This is where we find Nancy Pelosi." I guess that's true. I mean, yeah. Bauer is then recorded saying the words to the effect of, "Bring that effing, out here now. Bring her out. Bring her out here. We're coming in if you don't bring her out." Soon after, MPD officers attempted to deny individuals access to the hallway entrance. That resulted in a brief confrontation, and Bauer is recorded stating words to the effect of, "You back up. Don't even try." The following are 2 still pictures from the body-worn image. Yeah, that does appear to be the woman involved. She's most decidedly inside the building and does appear to be involved in some sort of physical tussle with, good stuff. In another body-worn camera video, Bauer is recorded stating words to the effect of the following: "Bring them out. We want them out here. You're bringing them out or we're coming in. Bring them out. They're criminals. They need to hang. Bring her out. Bring Nancy Pelosi out here now. We want to hang that effing. Bring her out. We're coming in if you don't bring her out. Why are you trying to protect an effing Nazi? Is that what you're protecting?" Well, the true threats, escalation, we're trying to look for the, the true threats angle, right? In terms of the language, does this language true threats? And like, kinda, bring her out. We want to hang her. Why we want to hang the F and yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a problem. In the MPD body-worn camera footage, Bauer is recorded with a large group of individuals inside the rotunda while holding what appears to be a digital device. On April 21st, I met with Witness 5, and Witness 5 viewed several of the photographs, including some of the above. After viewing each photograph, Witness number 5 identified the person as Bauer. In addition, I obtained a copy of Bauer's license and reviewed that. The FBI compared the images and believes that they're the same person. Based on the foregoing, the FBI believes a whole bunch of things. We believe we entered the grounds. We believe that we were shouting. We're not actually doing so bad here. We believe we entered the grounds. We believe basically we paraded improperly, and we obstructed the proceedings of the day. So not so bad. Not so bad. Now, you might remember, my friends, 16 minutes ago, I said that it was something different. And you might be saying to yourself, wait a second, this seems very familiar to me. I mean, in gross, right? This is kind of the same story we've heard before. I mean, some of the details are different, but, this is kind of similar. Person goes inside, protests, says some things, has a little altercation with the police maybe breaks something. This is kind of a very similar story. Kind of a similar story. So what makes it special? What makes it special? Well, the defendant has some thoughts, and the defendant would like to share those thoughts. And the defendant would like to share those thoughts in court filings. And you might be thinking to yourself, haven't we seen that before too? Well, kinda, but not really. This is new levels. So we don't really care so much what the FBI thinks anymore. Let's ask the question, what does the defendant think? Let's read. To the clerk of courts, Angela D. Caesar. Dear Miss Caesar, you are on receipt of my notice of special appearance. It was not filed on or before Friday, June 11th, as it was dropped in the drop box by my courier on the 10th at 9:30. Due to COVID, filings were not being accepted at the window, and I did not receive a receipt, and the court has not acknowledged receipt of receiving. Therefore, I'm sending it to you and the judge. I'm including a copy of the email from Tiffany Lavange Rhodes, to whom I emailed my notice of special appearance and has confirmed has received it. My pedant of naivety has been filed upon the land. I ask that you keep your honor and read my notice of special appearance thoroughly, completely, and with comprehension, as it is of a very serious nature. Under God's law, I did not harm another or cause any physical damage. It is public knowledge that the drawers were electronically locked and the Capitol Police antagonized the crowd of patriots as they sang the national anthem and God Bless America on the steps of the Capitol building. The Capitol Police did not try to stop the crowd, but invited them in. There was SWAT on the rooftops. Why did they not subdue the crowd? Why was there scaffolding on the west side of the Capitol with over 500,000 people attending a peaceful, prayerful rally? If the Capitol Police have released body cameras on my case, then where are the body cameras from the shooting of unarmed defenseless woman by the name of Ashley Babbitt? And why isn't this being at the top of priority of investigation? Why wasn't this crime scene roped up and investigated thoroughly? If there's so much damage done to the building and Congress was in such fear for their lives, then how did Congress reconvene at 8 p.m.? If the crowd was so dangerous, why did they leave peacefully? If you're going to charge me with trespassing, then under the maxim of law, you must produce the party with whom you consider me to trespass against. E imbit prohibito qui dictit non que negat. The burden of proof lies with those who affirms, not the one who denies. Your witnesses were not present. Therefore, the evidence you're proposing becomes presumptions, assumptions, and hearsay. Facebook put me in jail numerous times this past year, and I was put in Facebook jail on January 6th. My account has also been hacked twice. This becomes inconclusive evidence and cannot be submitted in court. Dr. Shiva has a case in the Northeast that is proving that Facebook and Twitter are contracted by the United States government. As a free living soul, sui generis, Jus soli, an ambassador of Christ, attorney in fact, I demand that this be a constitutional court of record. There will be no presumptions, assumptions, no tacit agreements, no waiver of rights, no subversion of rights, no hearsay, no lawyering or torment from the bench. I do not plead with the court. I do not plead guilty. I do not plead not guilty. I declare my innocence. I'm counting on you to be an honorable man, and I must ask you, are you claiming your authority over me from your oath of office? Are you claiming to derive your authority over me from the doctrine of parent parete? Are you claiming to derive your authority over me from the United States of America, statutes, codes, ordinances, bylaws of a corporation? Please list the authority of which you exercise dominion over me. May I have written confirmation all requirements have been met and are up to date? Under Amendment 5 of the Constitution of the United States of America, nor shall any person be subject to the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled, and in criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. I declare that I'm not a pauper by means of gold and silver, and not your de facto money. I also fly the civil peace flag. I'm competent, corpus mentis, and have signatures from witness to attest to the fact that I'm mentally stable and heavily involved in helping my community. I live in my body and love thy neighbor as thyself. I do not feel safe to travel to Washington, D.C., a foreign country, entity, due to COVID, BLM, and the fences that surround the de facto city, and decline your offer to an in-person hearing at this time. Just in case you try to send your corporate thugs to the place where I lay my head from time to time, make sure they have a charter from Congress to derive their authority over me. I got into this fight and was willing to lay down my life for my country. So if that's God's will, then I accept it, and you will martyr me for no reason. Thank you, Pauline Bauer. Pauline Bauer, a free living soul, compus mentis, sui juris, juris soli, attorney in fact, one of we the people, CC the judge. That was pretty interesting, but that was just a letter to the clerk of court. That was just a letter to the clerk of court. Does the defendant have any thoughts that she'd like to actually share with the court proper? Does she have any filings she'd like to directly file with the court? Yes, as a matter of fact, she does. She does have some filings she'd like to share directly with the court. Would you like to see what those filings are? I'm sure you would. Let's do that now. What is compus mentis? Compus mentis means you're sane. So, and sui juris would mean it would be self-law, law of self, because sui means self. So sui juris would mean self-law. Yeah. Yeah, judging yourself, I guess. That sounds about right. Okay, so this has been filed. I apologize. Let's get this right. This has been created by Pauline Bauer, executor, a living soul, a woman, but created for Pauline Bauer, vessel. She's a boat. D-U-N-N, copyright number for United States, redacted and on file for future reference. D-U-N-S, copyright number for District of Columbia, redacted and filed for future reference. D-U-N-S, number for District of Columbia Circuit, redacted and on file for future reference. Engaged in commerce as United States District Court, 333 Constitution Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. Department of Fiscal Services / U.S. Treasury / IRS. Any / all private, for-profit de facto, federal / municipal subsidiary corporations. All venues operating under color of law being involved or affecting these cases, known or unknown, now or in the future. Color of law agency, so named, District of Columbia, doing business as United States District Court, a de facto private shareholder owned bankrupt foreign for-profit governmental service corporation listed as Third Circuit on Dun and Bradstreet, acting as executor de se tort. United States, doing business as USA, a de facto private shareholder owned bankrupt foreign for-profit governmental services corporation listed as United States on Dun and Bradstreet. Correction. Our government is a republic properly styled as the United States of America. She's correcting herself in her own motion? She could just retype it? Okay. Versus Pauline Bauer. Vessel. I'm a boat. I'm a boat. Amber Effers, I'm a boat. Now comes Pauline Bauer. Compos Mentis. By special divine appearance, Pauline Bauer, one of we the people, petitioner, attorney in fact, sui juris, juris soli, a living soul, created by God, a self-governed individual. The woman being involuntarily held as surety, an ambassador of Christ, taking dominion over jurisdiction of the land and water. Land, air, water, this is law. Notice, too, the above de facto governmental services corporation. Agencies. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice. Notice a special divine appearance, status, standing, dominion, to be treated as a certified sworn affidavit in writing in a constitutional court of record. Now comes Pauline Bauer, competent, compos mentis, sui juris, as principal, as fiduciary, as trustee, as adult woman, a living soul, a creation of God, an ambassador of God, one of we the people, a creator of government, patent of naivety recorded upon the land. My status is well defined in Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 through 28 and chapter 2 verse 7. Job chapter 32 verses 21 through 22. Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 17. Proverbs chapter 28 verse 21. Matthew chapter 22 verse 16. Galatians chapter 2 verse 6. In the Maccabees, as in Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 verse 22, chapter 4 verse 27, chapter 10 verse 5, chapter 35 verse 13. It is in any case a sin unto God to accept the person walking as a free people, as defined in the book of John, chapter 8, verse 36, Public Law 97-280. Therefore, it is absolutely against my beliefs to accept the label of person. Therefore, there shall not be any presumption of my status, as it is my gift from God and my unalienable right of self-determination. Therefore, this document in its entirety, a living testimony in the form of an affidavit, a declaration of my rights, status, standing, and jurisdiction, a notice of discovery of fraud and impropriety, an abatement, a demand for remedy. I hereby stand as belligerently claimant upon these rights as required. I, Pauline Bauer, do hereby pray unto God for relief and honorably command the administrator as public servant of we the people to read this thoroughly, completely, and with comprehension. Not a chance in hell, incidentally, that we're going to get to this with comprehension, but whatever. For this document is of very serious nature and is not frivolous. Upon the honor of the Constitutional Court of Record, be it a fact before the court, and hereby agree to, there will be no presumptions or assumptions, no tacit agreements, no waiver of rights, no subversion rights, no hearsay, no luring or torment from the bench. Pauline Bauer, with faith in the honor of the court, really? That truth, fact, and fair justice under God's law be in the heart, mind, and spirit of the living soul presiding upon matters at hand. As to syllogism, all 12 presumptions shall be a fact before the court as rebutted by Pauline Bauer and Refarte. All should be considered rebutted. Canon 3228. 1. The presumption of public record. 2. The presumption of public service. 3. The presumption of public oath. 4. The presumption of immunity. 5. The presumption of summons. 6. The presumption of custody. 7. The presumption of corporate court of guardians. That's a new one. 8. The presumption of court of trustees. 9. The presumption of government acting in two roles as executor and beneficiaries. 10. The presumption of executor de santort. 11. The presumption of incompetence. 12. The presumption of guilt. I, Pauline Bauer, a living soul, being fully aware of my CQV, PCT, and several attached CUSIP numbers, hereby request as friend of the court a review to be performed by the Honorable Living Soul presiding on the aforementioned case numbers, the following U.S. codes. Counterfeit securities pursuant to Title 18 of United States Code Section 4 of the Commission of Crimes cognizable by a court of the United States under Title 18 United States Code 513, to wit, whoever makes, utters, or possesses a counterfeited security of the state or political subdivision thereof, or of an organization with intent to deceive another person, organization, or government, shall be fined not more than $250,000 or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. See also sections 2311, 2314, and 2320 for additional fines and sanctions. Among the securities described at 18 U.S.C. 2311 is included evidence of indebtedness, which, in a broad sense, means anything that's due and owing, which will include a duty, obligation, or right the action. We, the people, laid down the law, and when our public servants step outside the law in which we, the people, laid down, they're committing a violation of emolument. You know, you might notice that I'm reading this with not as much, legal analysis and commentary as we normally read into motions, right? We normally would interrupt it a lot more often with some commentary in emotion. But, what is there to say? What is there to say? Res ipsa loquitur, baby. This one, it speaks for itself. Therefore, in order to make the determination, I, Pauline Bauer, mandate that at least these 3 questions shall be asked and answered by the presiding judge. Oh, this will be good. Okay, we've got 3 questions. Okay, let's put on my federal judge hat. Let's put on my federal judge hat and attempt to answer these questions. This should go real well. All right, let's do it anyway. Question number 1. Are you claiming to derive your authority from oath of office? No, not exactly. I'm claiming my authority from the United States Code that creates the federal courts. The reason that I personally can do it is because I was appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate, and given my commission. So I'm claiming my authority between the United States Code that creates the court and my commission, which duly appoints me to said court. Okay. And all other requirements required by state or federal governments, which there's no requirements from state governments because it's federal court, right? So there are none and can be no requirements from state governments on the federal courts. Period. So that's easy enough. That you must have to hold your honorable position. While the only requirements for me to hold my honorable position is nomination by the president and confirmation by the Senate, which happened. Those are all the requirements. All right? I mean, technically, I don't even have to be a lawyer. I don't have to have gone to school. I mean, the president can appoint anyone they want. The Senate confirm anybody they want. So the total list of requirements is get nominated, get confirmed. End of list. So that happened. Okay. And are those requirements complete and up to date? Yeah. 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 As discovery, may I have written requirement that all the confirmations have been met or prior to this date with copies thereof? Sure. You can have a copy of my commission if it makes you happy. Why not? Number 2, are you claiming to derive your authority over me from the doctrine of parent parente, where the state is the parent? No, that is not exactly what's going on, right? It's not that the state is the parent. That can be a thing, and we've seen that actually a little bit in COVID land, or some people trying to get there. But no, it's not that the state thinks that they're the parent. Is that we collectively built the building, and we collectively set the rules for the building. And one of the rules was you're not allowed to be there right now. And you broke it. So you have taken property from the common and inappropriately brought it unto yourself. So it's not really the doctrine of parente parente so much as, yeah. Question number 3. Are you claiming to derive your authority over me from the state of Pennsylvania? No. 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 Or the United States of America. That would be the one. Yeah, that one. Statutes, codes, ordinances, bylaws of a corporation. No. As a matter of discovery, please list the authorities by which the court seeks to exercise dominion over Pauline Bauer, a living soul, a woman. Therefore, if any of the 3 answers are yes, which you didn't ask. Okay. If any of the 3 answers are yes, the court's authority and claims of jurisdiction and dominion is hereby openly and publicly challenged. Well, we've been federal courts for, 200 something plus years, and it's created by Congress, and I could go dig up, if you really want me to, I could go dig up the public law. It's in the statutes at large somewhere. That's where all the laws Congress passes, right? So there's the U.S. Code, which all know and love, right? The U.S. Code. But the U.S. Code doesn't actually contain all the laws Congress passed. It contains a lot of them, but not all of them. All the laws Congress passed are in the statutes at large, which is a much bigger set of books. So if you really want, we can go find whatever page it is in the the statutes at large. We can go dig up the page where Congress passed the law that created this court. And if you really want, we can get you a copy of the commission, which I'm sure will satiate all your complaints. Therefore, as discovery, authorized risk management, whoever that is, to provide me, Pauline Bauer, with all malpractice, malfeasance insurance policies and bonding information, so I, Pauline, may, if need be, make a proper tort claim. Oh, that's also easy. There is none. The federal judge doesn't have malpractice insurance. The federal judge enjoys absolute immunity. Right? It's what's the other one? It's qualified immunity's big brother. Yeah, it's qualified immunity's big brother. The judge enjoys absolute immunity. You can't sue the judge for their official acts. Yeah. So what malpractice do you have? None. I'm going to sue you. No. Okay, well, that was easy. Therefore, bring forth the superior trust, titles, and contracts, or dismiss the... Yeah. We can also get you a copy of the U.S. Code and Title 18 if you like. or dismiss the aforementioned case numbers with extreme prejudice, and by admission of mutual mistake, all shall be made whole and forgiven, granted by our Creator. Therefore, I, Pauline Bauer, mandate the return of all private property to me immediately. Yeah, no. And now we have some citations. Ooh. Silence can only be equated with fraud when there is a legal or moral duty to speak, or when inquiry left unanswered would be intentionally misleading. We cannot condone this shocking content. If this is the case, we hope our message is clear. This sort of deception will not be tolerated, and if this routine, it should be corrected immediately. I have no idea what that's referring to at all, neither do you. The individual rights guaranteed by our Constitution can be comprised or ignored by our government if we, the people, fail to defend them. When law enforcement agents seize property pursuant to warrant, due process requires them to take reasonable steps to give notice that the property has been taken so the owner can pursue all available remedies for return. I'm sure you got a receipt. Federal District Court Judge James Alger Fee ruled that the privilege against self-incrimination is neither accorded to the passive resistant nor to the person who is ignorant of his rights, nor to one indifferent thereto. It is a fighting clause. Its benefit can only be retained by sustained combat. It cannot be claimed by attorney or solicitor, as vowed only insisted upon a belligerent claimant in person. I'm assuming that he was speaking with a little bit rhetorical flourish on that one. The one who is persuaded by honey words or moral cessation to testify or produce documents, rather than make a last-ditch stand, simply loses the protection. He must refuse to answer or produce, and test the matter in contempt proceedings or by habeas corpus. I'd like to know more about the situation in which he wrote that, because that seems a little much. The United States Supreme Court apparently has said the following. The individual may stand upon her constitutional rights as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on his private business in their own way. His power to contract is unlimited. Well, that's definitely not true, but let's look past that. He owes no duty to submit books and papers for examination to the state. His rights are such as existed by law to the land long antecedent to the right of the state, and can only be taken from him by due process of law and in accordance with the Constitution. Like, for example, a warrant. Among his or her rights are a refusal to incriminate himself, the immunity of himself, and their property from arrest or seizure except under warrant. Except under warrant. Except under warrant. He owes nothing to the public so long as he does not trespass upon their rights. You know, that's one you might want to read a little bit more carefully there, my friend. That last sentence is talking about you. You owe nothing to the public so long as you do not trespass upon their rights. They're talking about you, man. You now owe something to the public because you trespassed on the public's rights. They were talking about you, man. Having thus avowed my disappropriation of the purposes for which terms state and sovereign are frequently used, and of the object, in which the application of the last of them is almost universally made, it is now proper I should disclose the meaning, which I assign to both, and the application, which I made of the latter. In doing this, I shall have occasion incidentally to evince how true it is. The states and governments were made for and by man, and at the same time how true it is that his creatures and servants have first deceived, next vilified, and last oppressed their master and maker. I have no idea what Justice Wilson was writing about in 1793, but okay. I'm also going to just take a flyer and assume this is not necessarily representing a majority opinion. It seems, in common usage, the term person does not include the sovereign. Statutes employing the word persons ordinarily construed to exclude the sovereign. And they add in the word people, which is no. You're adding in the word person. Yeah, the term person does not include the sovereign. That would be the state. And you were in the word people. No. In its most fundamental or strict sense, jurisdiction means the entire absence of power to hear or determine the case. An absence of authority over subject matter or the parties, but the term may also refer to the situation where the court has jurisdiction over the subject matter, has no power to act except in a particular matter, or give certain kinds of relief, or to act without the occurrence of certain procedural prerequisites. Sure, that the court has jurisdiction to act doesn't necessarily imply they can act in all situations. They need certain situations to occur. The fact that they have the power to do stuff doesn't mean that they can just do stuff. They need certain triggers to happen. Maxims of law. Oh, this is good. We get to learn some maxims of law. Now, I feel like at this point, I have to give a huge disclaimer. Just the biggest disclaimer ever. Okay? Please, for the love of God, do not ever use these in any court proceeding ever. In fact, you probably shouldn't remember them. These are not real maxims of law, and they certainly don't mean anything like what this person thinks they mean. So, just in case you were like, ooh, maxims of law, something I can use. No. But, yeah. Is that legal advice? Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. For that one, sure. I feel fairly comfortable on that one. Can I give everyone listening to this legal advice to never use these phrases in court? Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Yeah. Here are some maxims of law. Consensus fastis legem. Consent makes the law. A contract is law between the parties, which can acquire force only by consent of the parties. As to a contract, I guess that's true. Q tacit consentri vitera. A party who is silent appears to consent. That's definitely not true in law at all. No. Non viteri Q errant constrate. One who errs is not considered as consenting. Okay. Dispara non deptum jungi. Unequal things. Corporation to living soul, or living soul to corporation, ought not to be joined. L imbit prohibidum, Q dictat, non Q negat. The burden of proof lies upon one who affirms, not one who denies. Incertia pro nolles habantur. Things uncertain are considered as nothing. Falsus in uno, falsus in ambibus. False in one thing, false in everything. Fraud vitiates everything. There's no statute of limitations. Well, that's an idea that again, these ideas should not be. Yeah. So does falsity or even fraud necessarily terminate everything? No, probably not. I mean, there's got to be limitations, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Qualibet jurisdicto, cancellus sonus habat. Every jurisdiction has its boundaries. Well, that's true. But, what those are is a whole other set of problem. 2365, I don't know what this number refers to. Statium affirmum non derogat communi legi. An affirmative statute does not take from the common law. Okay. Internet commentator asks, Internet commentator says, can two corporations marry? Yeah, they're called mergers. Reservatu un prestare non tacit jus sed tertri. Reservation and protest do not create a right but protect a right. Benenti et volati non fit injura. A wrong is not done to one who knows and wills it. I, Pauline Bauer, a living soul, am accepting the constitutional oath of the presiding magistrate as their superior oath, calling for a constitutional court of record, and not accepting their oath to the Bar Guild which I, Pauline Bauer, hereby voice my rebuttal. Foreign, per the 1947 Bar Treaty. Okay, just out of raw curiosity, what, and I'm going to regret this decision immediately, what, if anything, is the 1947 Bar Treaty? Okay. Hold on. What is the Bar Treaty? I think I'm regretting it already. Um, well, apparently in 1947, if I'm understanding this correctly, I think we're using the word treaty loosely here. If I'm understanding this correctly, in 1947, a bunch of bar associations got together and they signed some kind of agreement that basically said that they would help each other out and committed to, the rule of law and stuff and act towards mutual assistance and defense against aggression as defined by law. I think we're using the term treaty loosely here. So apparently the American Bar Association, which incidentally is not a association of all U.S. lawyers, despite the name, is a completely voluntarily group. I've been a member of the ABA and not. So apparently the American Bar Association, which is a group for people who are lawyers, but not all of them, apparently they got together with some other bar associations from other nations, which I don't know what their relation is, and apparently they signed some kind of agreement that, there'd be some kind of mutual cooperation. And, the American Bar Association is not a governmental entity, so it doesn't have the power to bind us in a treaty. I think we're using the term treaty kind of loosely. Okay. I completely regret in every possible way the decision to look that up, because we have gained absolutely nothing of knowledge, and I have given some sort of value to this, which I immediately regret. I immediately regret looking it up because I thought maybe we'd learn something, and no. This is like the same people. This is the same people who think that BAR is an acronym that stands for Barrister Something Registry, and we have all pledged loyalty to the Queen or something, which also didn't happen. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I, Pauline Bauer, a people, living soul, have been created by my father and mother under the gift of my eternal soul from my God, claim all protections under the Holy Bible, the Word of God, and referenced by Public Law 97-280 of 1982. Yeah, we gained no knowledge, but at least we had fun being crazy. Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. One bar association signed an agreement with another bar association that they might work together and promote the rule of law and perhaps some international harmony. Ooh, you know, Ooh, deep, you know. Oh, then we've got a note. Okay, this is good. Notice. This document is not intended to threaten, harass, intimidate, offend, conspire, blackmail, coerce, cause consternation, alarm, contempt, or distress, or impede any public duties. It is presented with honorable and peaceful intentions. Any information contrary to the verified statements of fact will compromise your stipulations to committing fraud upon the court. The instant matter is definitively a matter dealing with an infant, minor, ward of the court. She's claiming to be a ward? What? Isn't that like the exact opposite? Wait a second. What's happening now? Isn't it like the exact opposite of a sovereign citizen? She's now claiming to be an infant, minor, or ward? This is the weirdest sovereign citizen ever. This is the weirdest sovereign. This is a whole new way of being a sovereign citizen. I am sovereign, and I can't be subject to your authority, and I'm also an infant. Okay. All right. The instant matter is definitively a matter dealing with an infant, minor, ward of the court, unless the court will state with specificity and without ambiguity that the presenter, the real party interest, has attained the age of majority upon their 18th birthday, and is construed recognized present as not only an administrative civil adult, but as a woman capable of managing and handling her own affairs. Okay. Oh my God. She signed it using a thumbprint. Wow. That's different. I, Pauline Bauer, a living soul, declare under the laws of the United States of America, the foregoing documents and statements herein are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and ability to express. Which she signed, which requires a notary seal, but she has sealed it using her thumbprint. Okie doke. Okay. Oh no, she did go to a notary. That's gotta be a fun conversation to a notary. She did go to a notary. Apparently. She went to a notary and it got signed, and she signed it and she gave the thumbprint. I wonder if we can call Miss Kendall here, the notary public, and ask her for a report. What was your impression of Miss Bauer? That could be fun. I don't know if it's blood or not. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. And then we got some documents. Here's the search warrant that we've put in here for some reason. Here's the things we're charging you with. Obstruction of justice, entering a building, knowingly entering in disruptive conduct, violent entry. Sounds about right. There's the statements from the FBI we read earlier. Fun. And then we got some news articles or something, which is helpful in some way. Some news articles from, I don't even know what these are or purport to be. FBI releases a report on Pelosi's father. I don't care. Some pictures from the Capitol or something. We got a criminal complaint with some annotations. Same charges, Fifth Amendment. They're not the same charges. They're distinct criminal offenses. I can solve that one for you. They're easy. Everyone, the only ones that's the same is the last two, and those are two different incidences, so that's easy. Two different episodes is two different charges. Same thing. Fifth Amendment, same charges. They are not the same. They're legally distinct. To whom it may concern, I, Pauline Bauer, hereby declare I am competent, compos mente, a free living soul. I've owned and operated a restaurant business for 15 years and continue working daily alongside my employees in that business. I'm a member of the Ludrow Sportsman Club and Kinzaw Fish and Wildlife Association, and I volunteer with the United States Forestry Service throughout the year. I have served and continue to serve my community through volunteer work, helping others in need, mentoring local high school kids, and many other ways have been beneficial to the local community. Signed, signature of witnesses attesting the same. And then we have a whole bunch of people who apparently are willing to sign off that this is true, and she's apparently competent, according to these people. And now we have someone wrote something, and I don't know who this is or who's writing. Someone is writing this. I'm not sure who. Talking about Pauline one night, I broke down something dead trailer on no lights, sitting in the something middle of the road, who comes along in a little Jeep, couldn't pull a truck that big. She wanted to try, well, couldn't move it. She gets on the phone. She pays the bill. To this day, she will not take money. Never told me how much then. Anytime anybody has something, comes with free food. I don't know how many times she has come to the rescue. Something season labs of, hey, I can't even pick one up. Pauline, something bails, someone needs something for one feed day. I back 100%. That's why I called her life saver by someone Nelson in Pennsylvania. Well, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. So she's representing herself. She has refused the appointment of an attorney. She's going pro se. So, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. So, I'm not sure how much better the attorney would help, but, it would help a little bit. Let's see if we make it through the court proceeding without getting in contempt 8,000 times. That'd be good. Wind up with some contempt charges. This is going to be promising, I'm sure. So, yeah. So it's a soft sit. And they wrote some things to the court, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Don't represent yourself before court, and yeah. So that's the end of this stream. I hope you enjoyed this episode number 55 of the DOJ Capitol Riot series. If you're enjoying this, please remember to give it a like and all the rest of it. Yeah. Oh, Stephanie's here. Are you back? Okay, Stephanie's here. Okay, well, that's nice. I thought you went away. I'm glad you're here. Where was I? Yeah, so that was a lot. We'll get back to this. I've been Uncivil Law. Hope all's well, and cheers and goodbye.